Well, Adelaide teenager Holly Longford has had a year she'd prefer to forget, and strangely it all started with a game of netball. From that time on, it's all been downhill, with doctors, chiropractors, physios all scratching their heads about her medical condition. It was finally diagnosed as conversion disorder, something that is very real. Lucy Polkinghorne has more.
Completely lost full ability to walk.
I rely on everyone to help me get food, get change, help drown myself out of the shower because I can't do it.
Very frightening. You just see your child go from a perfectly active teenager to not being able to walk, not being able to talk.
It's very hard, I think, for people to understand, for laymen, for anyone to really understand how it can be that patients can present with such significant, overwhelming symptoms when there's no physical cause.
Incredibly, doctors say there shouldn't be anything wrong with Adelaide teenager Holly Longford.
I was spasming out of control and I couldn't stand or walk. But as I got in for longer, I started to lose my speech.
16-year-old Holly has been living a nightmare existence for over a year.
It was really frightening having all these tests done and each test coming back negative for everything.
What did you think was happening to you?
I just thought something's really wrong with me, but what it is, I don't know what it is. And is it like, could it kill me?
Up until then, she was like any other school-going teen.
Going out with friends to parties, I played netball, touch footy and I danced.
But her world was turned upside down 14 months ago after a collision while playing netball.
And I came off the court crying because my back was in so much pain. And then the days progressed. I just got worse.
She saw chiropractors, physios and doctors, but no one could help.
I got admitted to another doctor and then he put me on fluoxetine and I had a reaction to it. So it sent my body off into a spasming seizure sort of thing, not being able to stop, and I couldn't walk at all.
She spent 2 weeks in hospital learning how to walk again. And despite countless tests and scans, doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong. For her mum, Wendy, the unknown was frightening.
You just see your little girl deteriorate and they can't find anything. And I suppose that's the hard thing as a parent. You don't want to believe it's a psychological issue either, because you think, I can't fix that.
No one really understood it as well. They just thought it was like just a freak case and like almost a miracle that I recovered so quick.
But not for long. The spasming in the legs returned and she was readmitted to hospital. And that's when she was diagnosed with the mysterious conversion disorder.
Conversion disorder is a disorder where patients present with signs and symptoms of a neurological illness, such as having had a stroke or a seizure of some description, but where there's no actual underlying physical illness. Instead, it's the body's response to some underlying stress.
While it seems unbelievable, Dr. Andrew Court from the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne says it's very real and illustrates the power of the mind over the body.
These symptoms are unconscious, they're not fabricated, they're not made up. They're something that the body and mind automatically does in order to avoid stress.
15-year-old Jana Tanska understands all too well. She's had the condition for 4 months. Hers was also triggered by back pain.
Some days I don't understand it, but like I understand what's happening, but you still want to have a specific cause from it, like not just psychological, because it doesn't sound right. You just want something like a proper medical condition.
Health experts say little is known about the disorder and what triggers it. It can only be explained by psychological stress. But for Yana and Holly, two happy and healthy teens, it doesn't make sense.
Can you understand why?
It's your body's way of just saying it can't cope with stuff going on with your life, and it just needs to rebuild itself all over again, and that's really hard to accept.
I have no idea what it could have set it off. Because at that time I was normal, I was happy, I was going out every weekend, going to parties and seeing friends.
While the symptoms aren't permanent, there's no quick or known cure, and there's always a chance it could return.
A rehabilitation program. It's a returning or retraining the body to functioning normally, which may involve physiotherapy, trying to work out what the underlying psychological distress is and be able to manage it and deal with it.
Nothing seems to be helping, so it's just hopefully time.
I will get better because I'm determined to. I'm determined to be better for next year.
And both girls want to return to school this year, and we do wish them luck.